Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another weekly gay gamer video podcast. With everything going on in the world right now, I would very much like to thank Nintendo for giving me something to look forward to. I had an idea. I was like, oh, I could talk about this next week. And then suddenly I remembered, oh wait, but Nintendo is doing their big Switch presentation, so that's kind of big and huge, and I should probably talk about that instead and save that other topic for another time. So, basically, I don't know what you all thought, but I was kind of impressed. Although, to be 100% honest, during the Switch presentation, there were a few moments that made me go, ooh, ah. But overall, I was just sort of like, oh, okay. And like, not bad, but not like, oh, blown away. Because, well, I'll explain in a minute, but I felt like the format of the presentation, like, I feel like they sort of dropped the ball towards the end. But, just to start off with, super impressed with the Switch. We knew the basics from that teaser video that they had shared a while back, but this was where they like got into some more detail about the hardware. So now we know a little bit more about it, and what it can do. Still loving the idea that I can play games on my TV and then pull out the little tablet console thing, pop it in a case, and take it to work with me and play it on the subway. I have to say that I was not expecting the JoyCon Controllers to be quite as involved as they turned out to be. Like, I was not expecting all that functionality. Like, I thought they were just, you know, controllers with buttons on them. Maybe a little rumble. But they have like that super HD rumble where you can feel ice cubes in the palm of your hand and stuff. They also have, you know, they're like tiny Wiimotes that you can like whip around and punch and do stuff with. And sorry, I'm gonna sneeze probably. I apologize in advance for the sneeze that is clearly incoming. But they also, there's like a little camera that can like, it's like crazy. So I was not expecting that. That's a lot more involved. But I liked the idea that it was like, we're taking things that we've learned from all our different consoles and we're going to put them all together into the Switch. I was also disappointed because in my mind, I don't know why, I'm sure that they announced the size of the touchscreen, but either I didn't know the number or the number didn't register in my brain, because I was still thinking that the Nintendo Switch was going to be like a big 8-inch tablet, you know? And I was actually like, that's a little clunky to be playing on the subway, it's kind of big. But it's 6.2 inches, which is really small. And my friend was like, oh no, it's like the size of a large phone, this is disappointing. And I'm like, yes, that is disappointing. But then I actually looked for comparison's sake, and size comparison-wise, the Switch, with the Joy-Cons attached to the side of the tablet, is actually equivalent to the Wii U gamepad. But a little thinner and more streamlined, obviously. The Wii U gamepad's a little clunky and thick. And the Wii U gamepad is 6.2 inches. And I had no problem playing some games with the off-TV play. Like, I played Wind Waker on that with, like, no problem and no complaints at, oh, the screen is really small. I mean, in the beginning, obviously, you're going from your giant TV to a tiny screen, so it's a little like, but once you're into it, and there's no complaints. And it's over an inch bigger than the PlayStation Vita screen, so, and I had no problem playing portable games on that, so I think that this size is fine. I'm not going to be a size queen about it. Obviously, like, a 7-inch screen might have been a little better, but I understand it's a little big, and then the battery would be worse. I love the way they're like, oh, the battery will last anywhere from like 2 to 6 hours depending on the game you're playing. So I'm like, great. So Zelda's gonna last like 3. Actually, they did say that on their website. They said that like playing Breath of the Wild, the battery will last about 3 hours, which is fine because, like, unless I'm going like all the way upstate to visit my sister or something, that's like a 2.5 hour to 3 hour bus ride. It would last me pretty much the whole trip, so that's fine. Like, I mean, for like an 8-hour flight, you're going to need an extra battery pack or a way to plug it in, but you've got that, so it's not a problem. Where I feel that Nintendo sort of dropped the ball was with the games. Because in the presentation, they showed off a bunch of games, but they were like, here's Splatoon 2. Oh, you'll play that later in 2017. Here's Super Mario Odyssey. You'll play that at Christmas 2017. You know, like, all these games, and they were like, you'll play those later. And I'm like, shouldn't you be saying, you know, sure, here are some games that you'll play later in the year, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Get you excited for that to play later. Because you want to make sure that people are like, we've got all these awesome titles coming out through the rest of the year, so the first year of this system's going to be fantastic. But then you want to be like, here's what you're going to be playing at launch. And they basically only showed off 2 major games that you're going to be playing at launch. One of which, honestly, 1-2 Switch, it's cute. It's kind of like the Switch's Wii Sports. And thus, I was surprised when they were like, this will be available at launch. And I was like, wait, that's not a pack-in? Because this feels like a pack-in. And I looked it up, and while Switch games are retailing for $59.99, that seems to be $49.99. So I'm like, alright, but still, $50 for like a collection of minigames that just show off what the Joy-Cons can do? That just feels like a pack-in to me. Like, that's not supposed to be that expensive. So, I actually don't know if I even want to get that. Like, I might get it later, like after people buy it and then trade it in because they don't like it, and I'll get it, like, cheap. But obviously, it doesn't really matter, because they have revealed what is available at launch, and it's not a great launch lineup. Though, to be fair, the 3DS had not a great launch lineup, and it still was fine. Everyone said, oh, its system's dead. And years later, the 3DS is doing awesome, so don't worry about it. So hopefully the Switch will do that, and not be like the Wii U. Because the Switch has The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And honestly, what else do you need at launch? When the Wii launched, it came with the Wii Sports pack-in, and I bought The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, and I was perfectly happy, because I just played the hell out of Twilight Princess, with a little Wii Sports here and there on the side for fun, just to break it up. So I'm like, if I have Breath of the Wild, I don't really need anything else for a while, so I'll be good. But I wish that they could have been more like, here's our awesome launch library, but I get that they don't have an awesome launch library, so that's probably why they didn't do that in the presentation. But overall, though, I am excited for this, because I'm all about portable gaming, and as I've said this before in previous episodes, I thought the PlayStation Vita had amazing potential that just didn't, it was never realized, because it just didn't sell well enough, so it didn't get the support that it needed. But there were games that I played on the PlayStation Vita that were amazing. They were like playing console games in the palm of your hand. So that's what I'm hoping that the Switch can realize, because you're basically playing these console games in the palm of your hand. So, fingers crossed, this does really well, and I can have console experiences on the train, the bus, the plane, the wherever I am. Because that would be awesome. I also like this whole idea of, like, the sharing the game, where, like, if you take, like, I'll take my Vita or my 3DS, like, to go visit my family and stuff, but, like, that's a personal thing, you're just playing that. Whereas with the Switch, I sort of love the idea that if I have Mario Kart, I can just put the stand up and put the the system there, and then, you know, take one Joy-Con and hand it to my niece and be like, now we're going to race each other. And we can play split-screen Mario Kart on the Switch. And I love that. I love that idea. That just seems really fun. And it's a fun way to, like, play games with other people and not have to worry about, like, oh, we gotta hook this up to the TV, and then we've gotta plug this in. What if they want to watch sports? Because my family is all about the sports. There's always football or baseball or something on the TV, so you can't really use the TV for video games. So, but if I can go over to the other side of the room and be like, here, we'll just set it up, and ta-da, we can play Mario Kart, da-da-da-da, and it'd be really fun. I don't know if my brother will appreciate me getting his kids into video games, but whatever. So I'm excited, and as an idiot, after the presentation ended, a little after midnight, I was still tweeting about it and tweeting back and forth with people, thoughts and opinions, and I checked BestBuy.com, no pre-orders yet, and I thought, you know what, they're probably not going to start pre-orders until like tomorrow morning at like 9 in the morning or something. So I said, I'm going to go to bed, I'm tired. I have work tomorrow, it's like 12:30 in the morning, let me just go to bed. And I'll just check in the morning. I get up and I check in the morning, and literally if I had just stayed up for another 10 or 15 minutes, could have gotten in on the pre-orders right at the start. I could not pre-order through Best Buy or Amazon, and I wasn't going to go to Nintendo World because that's going to be insane. So I was super disappointed that I was not going to get a Switch at launch, because I was like, I don't want to have to go somewhere and like stand in line and maybe not get one. Like, I wanted to have a pre-order so that I knew I would be getting one, and then I could go get in line at like 11:30 for a midnight launch. But a friend of mine suggested Target, so I went to Target.com. They let me pre-order one. I pre-ordered it. I paid an extra $15 for the same-day shipping, so it should arrive on Friday, March 3rd. We'll see. I have only ever ordered one thing from Target. I ordered a coffee table from Target like 10 years ago, and, you know. But this, I'm just like, I'm super concerned that, like, I would much prefer to have pre-ordered it at Best Buy so that I could go at midnight and pick it up in store. Like, if it was Amazon, if I could have gotten it through Amazon, I would trust that Amazon would get it to me delivered on release date. Target, I don't know. I'm very concerned that... I also worry that, like, because a lot of places like GameStop or Best Buy, like, you'll try to click on it. Sometimes certain places will let you add it to your cart, and then when you go to checkout, it'll be like, no, we don't have it, sorry. But I prefer when they're like, no, we just don't have it, like, right up front. But I'm concerned that Target was like, yeah, you can have one, pre-order it, go ahead, we'll get it to you. And then what's going to happen is on, you know, March 2nd, instead of getting a shipping notification, I'm going to get an email from Target saying, we're sorry, but we're out of stock on this, you'll see it in about 2 weeks. And then I'm going to be like, ugh, fuck you, Target. You ruined everything. Because the other thing is that I did pre-order Breath of the Wild through Best Buy, because as a member of their Gamers Club, I get like a 20% discount off the game. So I can get it for less than $50. So obviously I'm going to buy that with the nice discount. I'm not going to get that from Target for full price. So basically, I feel like I'm going to have to get up on Friday morning, go to Best Buy and pick up my game, and then come home and just basically sit and wait for FedEx or UPS or somebody to deliver my Target package with my Switch so that I can actually play the game that I just picked up at Best Buy. Although I am sort of hoping that somewhere between now and March 3rd, I'll keep checking back at Best Buy and maybe somebody will cancel their order and I'll be able to like slip in and get one, so then I can just pick everything up at midnight, but it's probably not going to happen. I'm basically bracing myself for Target screwing this up and me taking the day off work, going to pick up my Breath of the Wild, and then sitting here and having a game and no system to play it on. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Because the thing is that with the Wii U, I feel like with the Wii U, you could get a Wii U like basically anywhere after launch. Like they were around, like you could pick them up. They were not that popular. And I don't know if that's going to be the same thing with the Switch, because I think with the Switch they've like really worked their hype train a little more than with the Wii U, and I think people are more excited about the Switch than they were for the Wii U, so I'm feeling like stocks are going to be a little low for a while. But I guess we'll see. I was very surprised that it was going to be March 3rd. I was honestly expecting like March 30th. Like I was thinking like end of March. But nope, it's the beginning of the March, which is less than 2 months away, so I'm super psyched. And I have gone on way too long about this. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Switch, and if you are going to be getting one at launch. And I will see you back here next week, and I'll talk about something else. Or maybe I'll talk about the Switch again. Who knows? Come back next week and find out. Bye!